This is another worked example for writing method headers. The subgoal labels for writing methods include 1. To define the method header based on the problem. That's what the examples here will be looking at. Remember, when you pick your method name, make it something related to the use of the method. Recall that method names generally are never capitalized for the first letter, and the method header includes the access modifier, the return type, the method name, and the full parameter list. That means for every parameter, you have to give it a data type and a parameter name. Here's our first example. Write a private method header that does not return anything but accepts as parameters 3 strings and prints out a cheerful sentence with the input in it. Here we want to pick out a name that's related to the use of the method and to not capitalize it, and we will call this method cheerful. First, we look for clues for the access modifier. These have been highlighted in yellow. Then we look for the return type. This problem description says that the method does not return anything. That means that the return type will be void. We already have our method name, which is cheerful. Then we want to look for the parameter list. The problem statement says it accepts as parameters 3 strings. So we'll just name them string A, string B, and string C. If we want to look at the full method header, it is private, void, cheerful, string A, string B, string C. A call to this method would look like this. Because it's private, we know it has to be in the same class. So it would be cheerful, followed by one string alpha, another string beta, and the final string gamma. Alpha would map to the parameter A, beta would map to the parameter B, and gamma would map to the parameter C. Let's look at another example. Write a public method header that would work for this call. Now we're given the call wobble equals obj.happy with the parameters of 7, hello, and bye. When we look at the statement of the method call, we see that the method call obj.happy is assigning its result to the variable wobble. The variable wobble is declared as an int. So the return type for the method happy must be an int. The method name is happy. That's because it comes after the obj dot and before the parentheses. The problem description said we had to write a public method header, so the access modifier would be public. Now let's look at the parameters. We have a 7, a hello, and a bye. 7 would be an integer. Hello and bye are both strings because they're in double quotes. So the final method header would be public int happy with int A, string B, string C. Remember that A, B, and C could be any names that you want to make up. That's the end of this worked example.